Hi, this is Ilona from Work Ahead. In this brief video, I will discuss a little bit our worker feedback survey technology. I'll first start by briefly speaking about why ask workers their opinion. Then I'll show how our technology works in practice for the person responding, as well as for those carrying out the surveying, and briefly discuss what to do with the results and how you can see them. Okay, let's get started. So why would anyone ask workers for their opinion? Well, today we know we're facing some of the grandest challenges humanity is facing. Climate change, we have widespread inequalities and a lot of different challenges. And we can choose to run our businesses in a way that is a little bit better for our environment and for the people. And which leads us to the question, well, how do we know our real business that's good for its people? Well, the simple answer is, well, let's ask those people. How do they feel at work? How are their lives going? This helps us know how well we are doing as a business in treating the people well and making sure that everything is improving in also workers' lives. Now, we are based in Helsinki, Finland, and a typical Finnish company would ask their workers at least twice a year about their opinion. But in many places of the world, the workers have never been asked about their life and work before. So it may come as a surprise for someone to be asked about their life and work. And I actually think this is very powerful. When you are a boss and you come to work and say, hey, I want to know about your life. I want to know that your life is getting better and how are you doing? It's a very empowering feeling often for the worker. In some of our cases, we had people say, no, nobody cares about my opinion. Don't ask me. And we say, actually, yes, we care about your opinion. We want to hear your opinion. We can see a smile come to their face and their eyes starting to shine. So it feels very lovely to tell someone that they matter and what they think matters. Now, when we come to the actual feedback, it's very practical. It's very useful to see, hey, this is where we're doing well. This is what the workers say, this is working. And hey, this is somewhere where we could change things for better. And this requires an honest approach to running a business, an honest desire to know how are we doing, where are we doing well, where can we improve. And sometimes it can feel scary. It can feel like, wow, well, what if we discover something we didn't know about or there's a problem with something? But often when we think about it, it's actually better to know if there's a problem somewhere and tackle that, because if we don't, it will come around in some other form. And if there's a problem, wouldn't you want to know about it? Because then you can do something about it. About our worker surveying technology, all our questions are predefined. So there's no open-ended questions. You will know exactly what kind of questions there are and roughly what kind of answers the people can select from. So in some ways, there's no big surprises. So this makes it also a little bit easier in carrying the surveys that you're already limiting a little bit. Hey, we want to look into working conditions. We want to look into safety at work. We want to look into these sustainable development goals in workers' lives. So you already know what are the areas you're looking into. Where am I doing well? Where can I still improve? So this makes it a little bit easier. But in the end, it's just a human decision to say, hey, I want to know how the people who are working with me, how they are doing. And if they're not doing well, I want to know about that so then we can do something about it. Okay, so how does it work? Our surveying is based on a video. So nobody needs to be able to read or write. There is no internet connection required because everything gets downloaded into the phone before. And while they answer, no internet connection is required at all. And it's completely visual. Every person will press with the finger the answer choice they have. And what we like to say is it almost feels like having a video call to someone. So we'll try to make the technology feel as little as possible like technology. It's almost like having a call to somebody who is concerned, a good friend, asking about your experience at work. So we've tried to build the whole surveying experience very empowering for the workers, where they feel, oh, my opinion matters, and it's easy, it's lovely, it's uplifting, nice experience for them. I'll show you briefly how the video looks like. So the person facilitating will hand the phones, and we'll set this up ready. So then the person who gets the phone will just press play button as soon as they're ready. Now, we typically recommend using headphones, which because of the current pandemic situation may need to be a little bit adjusted. But when you use headphones, it feels very private. You hear the sound to your ears. You feel like you're having an intimate discussion with someone. I won't put the headphones on now so you can hear a little bit. So when they're ready, they press this button and there comes an introduction. This is now in Thai language. Here's an introduction that typically says, my name is blah blah blah, and I'm here because your opinion matters. I would like to ask you a few easy questions about your life and work. There's no right or wrong answers. Here is a practice question for you. Do you like it more when it's sunny or when it rains? So it's this easy to answer. Sunny. And then it continues. Our questions typically are very close to the everyday lives of workers. So we provide a list of recommended questions that we've used in many different countries and different places, which we can then adapt to local situations if needed. So we often ask questions relating to sustainable development goals, things like having enough food to eat, having access to water, children going to school. These are development indicators to know what are their lives like. Are there big poverty issues, or what are issues that we could help tackle and ensure that everyone can get forward with their lives. And then we typically have some working conditions related questions. Maybe we ask, do they feel safe at work? And if they say they don't, what does it relate to? Or we ask how many hours they work, or we might ask about discrimination at work. These often are really hard to uncover otherwise. Why technology is actually so useful is that this surveying is completely anonymous and confidential. If we were to send one person to ask everyone their opinion, they would know what everyone answered. But when we use technology like this, nobody will know what the people have answered, and they will feel safer answering their true opinion. So then you can also trust the results and use them more in your business decision making. It's also a lot faster using a mobile phone. So when you survey, you can use one mobile phone, you can use 5, you can use 10, you can use 20, as many as you have, and survey people at the same time. So now I'll briefly discuss how the surveying experience typically looks like. We always encourage to explain to the people who are invited to take the survey, what is it about? So often what it looks like is gathering the people together. If it's an office, taking maybe 10 people, if you have 5 or 10 phones, together and explaining in a couple of minutes why they're there. Then handing each person the phone and making sure they have a space where they can answer in privacy. So the surveying technology is completely anonymous, but it's also important the space where the people answer feels private, so that they can feel confident, they can feel comfortable when they answer. Some of the options that we've used before is, if you are in an office or manufacturing plant, having a meeting room and then bringing the people together outside of the meeting room, and then giving each person the phone, and they go inside the room to answer, and when they're ready they come out. So there's nobody there observing them. They can just take a seat wherever. Maybe you can put chairs a little bit spaced from each other. We've also carried out surveying outside settings in fields where you can invite people to just go a little bit further out and answer. And usually when they have headphones, it's easier for them to hear and have their private experience. Now, due to the pandemic, it's also possible to designate a place within your work site where people will go one-on-one. So place a phone there and then invite people to come, and then make sure you clean everything so to make sure that none of nothing can spread. So have some kind of manned station where people can come and answer their opinion, and there can be a couple phones there. That's also a possible setup. In essence, it's a question of looking at what would be an easiest, smoothest way for your work site to carry out the surveying. Are your workers all in the same spot? Then it's easy to just survey everyone on one go. Do they come and go? Well, how about we set up a place where they can come and answer? This really a little bit depends on your work site. So just as a summary, so when surveying, first it's important to brief everyone. Then they are handed the phone and they answer in privacy, and it's important to make it a private experience for them so they can answer honestly. This is really critical so that you can trust the results. Then they just give and hand the phone back, and then it's ready for the next person. Now, once every person is surveyed from the phone, you can send the survey results back to us. So the survey doesn't use any internet connection, but when you have finished and you're ready to send the results, you will find here a little option to upload all of the results back to our server. If you have many phones, you have to do it from each phone separately. And when the results have been sent to us and we confirmed that everything has been received successfully, we will produce an online visual report with graphical demonstration of how did the people answer. So it's bar graphs, and if you have different sites, you can see a breakdown between the different locations or answering groups. So then you can also compare the results. Oh, office workers said this and manufacturing people said that. And this is a very exciting time always, because in almost every case, we have like really lovely surprises. There's something that's like, wow, we really didn't know people feel so good about this thing. Maybe there's a question, do you feel pride over the work you've done, or how many stars do you give to this workplace? And it's like, wow, that's a really nice thing to see. And typically the companies we work with, the efforts and the investments they've made into worker well-being are clearly visible in the results. And sometimes there's also some surprising results. In one workplace we had a fairly large number of people who said they don't feel safe at work. And it had a follow-up question which asked about which area, and it related to machinery. So then they went to the different sites and started looking at, hey, what can we do to make this safer? And sometimes these things can be hard to voice to your boss. Sometimes there's a big power hierarchy. So maybe you feel a bit scared telling, hey, I feel a little scared about this. So it's a very good way to hear the opinion of equally from everyone. Also, sometimes maybe there is a very powerful person he says their opinions very strongly. So maybe then the other people feel a little bit more hesitant to tell their opinion. This is also very cultural. There's cultures where people don't want to complain if they have a job at all. So in a way, this technology is very powerful in enabling us to hear what the people really think and see what is it that we're doing well and where can we change for better. A lot of our customers use these results towards their partners. So maybe people who they buy from and say, hey, we know for you it's important that we treat our workers well. Here is proof. So we've asked every worker, here are some of our results. So it's also a really nice data-driven way to demonstrate the good work you're doing and the commitment you've done to make sure that all of your workers' well-being is at a certain level and it's improving. So these are some of the ways you can use the results, and we are always eager to hear of the different new ideas that organizations get from these results and how you implement the results. So if you have any lovely stories after you carried out the surveying, please share with us. We love hearing how it's impacted your work and what kind of insights you found from the results. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. I would be more than happy to answer any questions, but hope that this brief introduction video gave you an idea of the surveying technology and how it works in practice. Thank you for watching.